So what do you think is more efficient? Having someone teach you or teaching yourself? Uh, I mean, obviously it depends, right? Sometimes you don't know some things, so what do you have to do? You just have to ask somebody about it and asking to teach you about it. So that's having somebody teach you. But on one hand, obviously you can do the teaching. You can teach yourself, right? Because now you have things like internet where pretty much you can look for anything you you wanna know, and that you can literally teach yourself to do a lot of things on the internet. So in a way, internet is like your teacher, but more resourceful, more knowledgeable. But we still need physical teacher, obviously. You can't always rely on internet, right? Because internet doesn't have experience. Real person has experience. A real person has gone through a lot of things in their life. So it's easier for them to explain things to you than you going on the internet and finding information. So I guess by the end it comes down to the fact that you have to be willing to learn in any way. You gotta be willing to learn from somebody, and you gotta be willing to learn from something, right? You need physical teachers to teach you, and you can, on one hand, you can look for things that you don't know online and teach yourself about it. So it's all about balance. So is there anybody you hate personally? Well, no, not really. No, I'll tell you this. A lot of people I associate with, a lot of them are nice. They're not hateful, right? So I don't think I have somebody that I hate necessarily. Not that I can think of. So in this moment, I cannot think of anybody that I feel like I hate, right? What about people you love? Is there anybody you love? Yeah, when it comes to loving somebody, I have a lot of people that I love, starting with my parents, right? My my mom, my dad, my sister. But when it comes to romantic love, I don't have any because I'm not I'm not dating anybody. So it's mostly like the unconditional love, right? So when it comes to love, I have a lot of people that I love. But on the opposite, when it comes to hate, I like to believe that I have no one that I hate. So it's better this way, because when you have more people you hate than people you love, it seems very, I don't know. I don't want to be in that kind of position. To me, it seems like a struggle to deal with. So I would rather have a lot of people that I love than people that I hate. So do you think you have a quality? Do you think you have qualities that a guy should have? No, definitely not. I don't think I have good qualities that, I mean, a guy should have, right? I mean, okay, we have you we have to talk about it. Like, what are the good qualities what are the good basic qualities that a guy should have? One is a stable job. I think that is very crucial, right? It's not just about a guy, it's a human. Every human should have a job. They have to be financially able to support themselves, right? So when it comes to guy having a lot of qualities, I believe one of it is having a job, and two is probably being nice, because no one likes a guy who isn't nice, right? So as a guy, you gotta be nice. You gotta treat people with respect. You gotta treat people with compassion. So that's necessary. And three is probably have this might not seem very important, but I'll put it in the on the list, which is three is you gotta be physically strong, both physically and mentally strong, mostly mentally, because that is one thing that you find a lot of guys lack nowadays is mental toughness. They're not mentally strong, they might be physically strong, but on the inside they are crying babies. They're always constantly complaining about things. So not being physically strong isn't enough. You gotta be also mentally strong. So that's number three is you gotta be both physically and mentally strong. And four is I'm gonna go with having fashion sense. You don't have to be the most prettiest guy, but you gotta know your fashion. You gotta know how to be fashionable. You gotta know how to put yourself out there in society. You gotta be able to present yourself in a confident way. In that sense, you need fashion. So I guess these are the four qualities that I feel like every guy should have. And let's go all over them once again in summary. So one is having a job, two is being nice, three is having a great body, or both having or being physically strong and being mentally strong, and four is being fashionable. So, and the problem is when it comes to me, I have none of that. I have none of that. I have no job. I hope I'm not. It will be very subjective to say that I'm nice, right? So maybe I'm nice. I don't know. I might have the I might have that quality being nice, right? But three, I don't have. I don't have a. I'm not physically and mentally strong, which I need to work on. And four is I don't have. You know, I'm not good with fashion. So the only quality that I have is being nice, which is not enough. You need to have all of them. You need to have all four of them. So no, with that, going back to your question about if I have all the qualities that a guy should have, no, I don't have all the qualities that a guy should have. I only have one quality, which is being nice. So have you ever been to a zoo? Have I ever been to a zoo? Yeah, I have twice. I've been to two different zoos twice, right? The first time was when I was a kid. I might have been 11 or 12. And I don't remember much of it because I was very young back then. So that's the first time. And the second time is when I was about, let's say, 16, 17. Yeah. And so when it comes to this, when it comes to second time, I remember some of it, right? I remember going and giving bananas to monkeys. I remember seeing elephants. I remember seeing crocodiles. So the second time, I remember much of it. The first time, I don't remember at all. It's like it's gone. That memory is gone. But the second time, I remember much of the experience from it. So with that, I've been to with that I've been with that I've been with that I've with that I've with that I've been to zoo 2 times. Okay, let's imagine. Let's imagine you don't. Let's imagine you you suddenly goes blind. What would you do? Oh man. I mean, firstly, hopefully it doesn't happen to me, right? I I can't imagine a life without vision, without being able to see. I imagine that would be a very horrific, like it would be a very horrific experience to be in. That's why I feel sorry for people that you know that don't have the ability to see, and so hopefully I'm not thrown into that kind of situation. But if I have, as you said, what I will probably do is it will be very hard. It will be very hard. I mean, you can imagine, right? It will be very hard, like especially for somebody who has seen things with his own eyes, and then suddenly you have to go blind. You can imagine that you're like, oh my god, I've lost everything. I've But it is different for people that are not born with vision, right? Because in their life they've never seen things, but for them it's kind of like normal in a sense. But whereas if you are somebody who is blessed with perfect eyes and suddenly one day your eyes go blind, now you feel depressed, because the thing is you've already know the pressure of seeing things with your own eyes, and now you have realized that you're never going to be able to do that again in your life. So so with that, I feel like if I get thrown into a situation where I'm not able to see anymore, I feel like that is something that I would think about first, is like how much it is difficult, right? It is difficult. But I guess you gotta learn how to live with it, right? That's the only way you could do. That's the only way you could live. Nothing you can do about it. Like, are you gonna commit suicide because you can't see? No, you're not going to do that. So you just have to live with it. So I guess that's what I would do if I became blind, which I hope it doesn't happen for whatever reason. Because again, I can't imagine a life without being able to see. It sounds like the most horrible, terrible nightmare. I mean, imagine you not being able to see one day, but you already have the experience of seeing things with your own eyes, and then you suddenly became blind, and then now what? You're not able to do that anymore. Dude, that is a terrible experience. It's not just about vision. It's not just about not being able to see. I think you'll feel the same if you lose some part of your body. Could be your hand, could be your ear, like could be literally anything, right? You'll feel certain way about it, right? But I think like the worst of all is losing your eyesight. I don't mind losing my arm. Like, hopefully it doesn't happen, but I don't mind losing my arm because I can still see, right? And I don't mind losing my, I don't know, leg again, which hopefully it doesn't happen. I don't mind losing any of my body part except my eyes, because the things that you see are so pleasing, right? You don't want to lose your eyesight, because I think, I believe being able to see is one of the most wonderful things about a human being, right? Because you get to experience things from your eyesight. I mean, so I wouldn't have much problem if I lost my other body parts except my eyes. Except my eyes. So what did you do last Christmas? Did you go out or did you celebrate the Christmas with your friends? What did you do? Uh, I'll tell you this. I didn't do anything. I just stayed home. Like, I remember during Christmas I was staying home. I was on my phone. I was like watching movies. I didn't go out at all. So yeah, I didn't go out during Christmas last year. Why didn't you go out? I mean, it was a very special occasion. So why didn't you go out? Well, because one, I'm not a huge fan of going out, right? I don't go out unless I need to do it. So that, I guess that's the main reason. And so yeah, that's why I didn't go out. And I also don't like social gatherings, right? Because I knew that if I went out, I would run into a lot of people on the street, because it was during Christmas. People were busy going out, hanging out. So I had that, I was like, I'm gonna run into people. I don't wanna go out. So that's that's a few excuses why I didn't go out last Christmas. So does it mean you hate Christmas? No, no, no. I don't hate it. It just, I'm not a huge fan of, how should I put it? I'm not a huge fan of social gatherings in general, right? I don't hate a specific event particularly, right? I don't hate Christmas. I don't hate New Year. No, I have nothing against these events, right? It just, again, I'm not a fan of going out. Also, I don't like social gatherings. That's why I didn't go out. Not because I didn't like Christmas. It just, I'm not a huge fan of going out. It's simply that I'm not a huge fan of going out. So what about this Christmas, 2024? Would you go out this Christmas? Mm, it depends. If I'm alone, I wouldn't. But the thing is, this year, my sister, she's coming back home, right? Because last year, she wasn't home, so I had no one to go out with. Because she's coming back home this year, and then when the Christmas comes, if she wants to hang out, then I might hang out with her, right? But if I was alone, I don't think I would do that. So does it snow here? No, it doesn't. This is a tropical area, so it doesn't. Here you only have 3 seasons, which is uh the raining season, right? And then the cold season and the hot season. So do you like money? Do I like money? I mean, who doesn't like money? Everyone likes money. Everyone knows the importance of it, right? Money contributes so much in society. If you have money, people respect you. People wanna be around you. You can get everything you want. But on the opposite side, if you don't have any of it, you live it. I wouldn't say a miserable life, but you live a pretty not a good life, I guess. I mean, you can still be happy without money, but having money can get you happiness, you know, because in society you see so many families that are poor, that don't have money, and then they are miserable because they don't have money. But on one hand, you have a lot of rich families that are happy, that take vacations to a lot of places, that buy all the food they want. So, but again, you can argue that not, it's the same. Not all the family that are poor are happy, or not all the family that have money are happy. But I believe that in general, money can bring you happiness. Money can give it. Money can give you the ability to travel all over the world. Money can give you the ability to get what you want. Money can give you to buy the stuff you want. So in general, I think everyone loves money. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never seen somebody in real life that go like, "Oh, I have so much money and I'm unhappy." No, it's never been the case. But on one hand, you've seen so many people come to you and say to you that I'm so miserable because I don't have money. So yeah, some people on the internet says money doesn't buy you happiness, blah blah. But in real life, you see people that have money and they are happy, and then you see people that don't have money and then they live a miserable life. It's kind of funny. Somebody says something like, some people tell you that money doesn't give you happiness. They tell you because they don't want you to be rich, which I think is true in a way. Because correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know about you, but I've never come across a single person that goes like, "Oh, I'm so unhappy because I have so much money." No, it's never been the case in my entire lifetime. which which proves that money can actually give you happiness. So what kind of environment do you want to live in? Is it a quiet environment, or what kind of environment do you want to live in? Uh, to me, I want to live in an environment that is, that is quiet, that is enough a lot of people around, because I hate noise, and then that isn't close to traffic. Right. One good thing is that the place that I live in right now is pretty close to what I described. It has less people around the neighborhood. I mean, you have a fair amount of people, but it's not a lot. And then you have little noise, right? And then you are close to the beach. That's also one thing. Like, if you live here, the beach is right outside of your house, so you can go swimming anytime. You can go see sunset, sunrise. It's a very comfortable place to live in. That's why I love staying home, dude. I love this neighborhood, right? Not all the time, but for the most part, I love it. It has less people. It is a pretty quiet place, and then it has a beach right outside of your house. So do you think socializing is important? Yeah, I believe socializing is a huge thing when it comes to society, right? Socializing is a form of communication, right? Because you go around people and you talk to people, you connect with people. Socializing is a skill. It is a skill that has to be acquired by all people, right? If you lack the ability to socialize, it's like not having money. It's being able to socialize is as important as having money. When you have the ability to socialize, when you have the ability to talk to people, you in that scenario, people will like you. They want to be around you. No one wants to be around people who doesn't know how to speak. It's like, no one wants to be around somebody like that. I mean, I personally don't want to, and a lot of people don't want to either, right? So, as a human being, you wanna be good at talking to people. It is a necessary skill, which a lot of people don't have, because now a majority of people spend their time talking virtually online, right? All they do is write comments, give likes. That's all they do. So, and then they expect to become good at socializing, but you're doing the wrong thing. If you wanna be good at something, you gotta do it. But you're doing the wrong thing. If you wanna be good at talking to people, there is no secret. The only secret is you gotta go out and talk to people. So I do believe that socializing contributes a lot of things in society. Socializing, it can connect you deeply with other people, right? Other people can understand you and you can understand them. Because without communication, without socializing, it would be very hard to connect with you on a deeper level, on a personal level, to one another. So it's like socializing is a bridge. It's a bridge. If you wanna get to know somebody, you gotta go through the bridge of socializing, and then you get there. So if the other person wanna come to you, they have to go through the bridge of socializing, and then they get you. So, in conclusion, I believe socializing has a huge role when it comes to people, when it comes to society. So with that said, are are you good at socializing? I mean, I wouldn't claim that I'm good at it, but I'm trying to become better at it, right? Because you can always improve. Right now you could be good at something, but you could become better at it, right? You could be good at driving, but you could become a better driver. So that's what I'm doing is that, again, I wouldn't claim that I'm a good communicator or good at socializing, but I'm trying to become better at it. So what do you think of Logan Paul? Well, firstly, I know nothing about him. All I know is that he's a YouTuber slash boxer, because now he I think he does boxing apparently, and then what? That's all I know about him. I bet I do also know his CryptoZoo scam, right? It was a huge topic a few months ago. It was all over internet. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was talking about the fact that Logan Paul scams his fans, blah blah blah. And so, there's a lot of famous people on internet. And it is very difficult to keep up with all of them. You have Mr. Beast, you have this guy, you have that guy. It's a lot. It's like nowadays everyone is becoming popular. If you have a phone and you know and then you have some sign of if you have a phone and if you know something to do, you can become popular overnight. So it is really hard to register, who is who and who what person is doing what and all of this on the internet. So what about Mr. Beast? What do you think of him? Well, it's kind of interesting. I don't watch his videos. I was really never a fan of that kind of content, right? I don't hate it. It just, I don't know. I find that kind of content to be boring, because it's pretty much you're giving stuff to a lot of people, and then taking video of it and then posting it online, to me that doesn't seem that interesting, right? So, but Mr. Beast as an individual, I think he might be he is the biggest YouTuber, no doubt about it. He he, I mean, he's at this point. I feel like everyone knows about it. Like every kid, if you asking do you know who Mr. B is? The kids they reply, yeah, I do know who he is. He's on YouTube, blah blah. His influence is insane. So what do you prefer, movies or TV shows? If you asked me this question 2 years ago, I would have said TV shows, but now I would say movies, because now I watch more movies than TV shows. I stopped watching TV shows mainly because they are very elongated, right? They have multiple seasons, season 1, season 2, season 3, and then sometimes you have like another season coming out, and it is like very, I don't know, it just seems like this, you gotta wait a new season, and it's frustrating. Whereas a movie, you watch it and then it's done. Yeah, they could make a sequel, but a lot of movies are just one-time thing, right? There is no sequel. A lot of movies don't have sequel. So that's why now I get into movies. Also now I have very limited time, right? I'm not as free as I used to be. I used to have a lot of time a few years ago, but now I have other things to do than just sitting there and watching a TV show. So now what I do is I choose movies to watch because they are less time consuming, right? One story done within 2 hours, that's it. But when it comes to a TV show, it's like one story, but it's a lot of hours to cover the entire story. So that's why now I only get into movies. It's because I have less time, and so I don't want to waste my time watching a TV show. I would just sit there and watch a movie that is only 2 hours long, as opposed to a TV show that has 3 seasons that are about, I don't know, 25 hours long. So, with that, let's do one more question. So have you ever been heartbroken? Have I? No, because I've never fallen in love with anybody. So no, my heart has not been broken. And I hope it doesn't happen to me, right? Even if I fall in love with somebody, I hope it doesn't happen to me. Because I don't know. I mean, even despite not having experience of it, I imagine it would be a terrible experience to be heartbroken. So I hope not to experience it, right? I hope to not have that kind of experience. that with that, that's all for this video, and I'll see you guys again. And before I go, let me say a few words, and that is that signing off from this world, and bye. A few words, a few words, a few words.